So finally here it is, what I'm hoping is going to be my last ever FIFA 17 qualifying recap. Now if you watched the first half of the video, you'll know that I got 20 wins out of 20, meaning that all I needed here was 19 wins out of 20. If I managed to get that, I would never have to play Weekend League again, unless I wanted to, of course. And I would also be qualified for the FIWC European Regional, which would be a big first step to potentially winning $200,000. So anyway, no pressure, let's get straight into it. You may have thought in the first half of this weekend's games I was finding things a little bit too easy, considering what's at stake. I just seemed to be absolutely smashing everyone and just, I was so relaxed and just finding things so easy, but this quickly changed in the second half of my games. As you've just seen here, he scored without me even touching the ball. Now I thought to myself that looked a little bit strange, but as we've just seen, it hits Marcelo and somehow goes through De Gea's legs whilst he's in mid-air. Now this clip here brings me on to a problem that I've had throughout the year. On this game, the best two centre-backs in the game by far are Team of the Year Ramos and Inform Manolas. But the problem is, if you have these two at centre-back, who can be your keeper? If you want to keep them on 10 chemistry, it either has to be a Spanish keeper from La Liga or a Greek keeper from Serie A. Both of which, there isn't many great candidates. So this guy went for Inform Szczesny. So straight away I was thinking to myself, every chance I get, I need to be hitting shots from distance, because, despite him being in form, there's no chance that Szczesny, is going to be good enough to keep out shots from, Griezmann, Bale, Ronaldo. And this is shown again here how for the second time in the game, I lashed one from 25-30 yards. Szczesny nowhere near it, and I gave myself a 3-2 lead, before half time. But this is the problem here when you go, when you're playing games that are really important. Panic passed out of the box. He got through. No idea how he got about 3 lucky ricochets there. Managed to get through, squared it, and made it 3-3. And at this point, I was really nervous. I switched formation. I made a triple substitution, but big man for the big occasion. Here it was, through ball by Pogba. Ronaldo gets through, steadies himself, driven shot across goal. And I managed to escape with a pretty lucky 4-3 win in my first game of the second half. Goes without saying, after a game like that last one, I did have to have a 10 to 15 minute break, drink some water and try and recompose myself. And I would suggest this for anyone who's just had a really close game, a penalty shootout, or even suffered a loss in the weekend league. 40 games is a lot of games to play in, in a very short space of time. And it is hard to play your usual game in your usual style, when you're either angry or nervous, or your adrenaline's going. So taking a break is definitely something I would suggest, and it's worked well for me. There's been a time in the past, a few weeks ago, I was 29 wins, no losses. I lost one via absolute bullshit, and I just lost my head, went straight back in, just trying to run and score as many goals as I could. Ended up on 37 wins and 3 losses, which did put this month in doubt, but luckily since then, as you know, I have been doing quite well. So anyway, that was my first rage quit of the second half of my games, and here comes the second. As you can see, it's just 6 minutes gone here. I've got a corner. What I've done here is I've pressed, run near post, I've whipped it in for Ronaldo. I'd say, if you get him to run that near post, he wins about 50% of the headers, and a lot of that 50% do end up going in, and we get our second rage quit of this video. Moving on now, 29 wins, no losses, and I'm about to show you another example of why I absolutely hate Chris Smalling. And if there was any way I could still get De Gea, Inform Walker and Pogba all in the same team, then, I'd love to hear it, because Chris Smalling pisses me off so much. I mean, how many times there did I have to press pass for him to actually pass it? But I do get a bit of a get out of jail free card here, as he passes it to me with, guess who? Chris Smalling, and Ronaldo smashes it in to make it 1-1 when I was just getting, again, a little bit nervous. But the rest of the first half is, back to, how my games usually go. Into Bale, outside of the foot, driven shot to make it 2-1. And I think this guy, at this point, yep, off he went. Now I can only apologise for what happened next, as not only did I lose a game, but I also somehow managed to not record it, so I can't even show you what happened. But when you see the stats in a minute, you'll probably realise that for my own health, that is probably a good thing, as it was absolutely outrageous. But anyway, I do apologise, as I know it would make it a lot more interesting to see a game where I lose. I can show you the reasons that I lost and the things that I could have done better. So yeah, it's done now, and I apologise for not being able to show you. But anyway, here are the stats. Here are the stats from that game, and I mean, just look at that, 12 shots to 1, You know, I don't want to talk too much about it because it does still make me feel sick even thinking about it. You know, the guy used 4-2-3-1 wide. He just wasted time, parked the bus at 0-0. He had no intention of, of trying to attack me or play football. His keeper, I mean, he had Joe Hart in goal, and he just saved absolutely everything. And it really was one of them games where I just felt like everything was against me. But anyway, back into it now, and I did have to have another time out, but I did manage to get back into the swing of things. Bale putting me 2-0 up here, and pretty comfortable game. Pressure on the ball as usual. Ronaldo turns, slips in Griezmann, finesse into the bottom corner, making it 3-0 in the first half. And I do believe this guy pauses it and quits to put us on 34 wins and 1 loss. Final 5 games now, and this is where things do start to get a little bit interesting. Knowing that if I lose one of these 5 games, it could be the difference between qualifying and not qualifying, which, as you know, is a bit of a big deal. The FIWC is a huge international tournament, and the prize money this year is just insane. $200,000, a trip to the Ballon d'Or, and everything else that comes with it. It is hard to play your normal game, so going 2-0 up is always going to help. Now what I'm going to do here is just what I always do from every kick-off after I've scored a goal. Get after the ball, everyone just quickly changing between my players, pressure on the ball, into Ronaldo. Now this Ronaldo has got everything. I mean, look at that. Amazing through ball, through to Griezmann, makes it 3-0 before half time, and when it's 3-0, as you probably know, it's pretty much game over. But I did have time just to score one more goal. What I do here, I was wave a small into charge out, feed him with Pogba into the bottom corner with Ronaldo, and it's 4-0 for this game. I am a big believer that in the weekend league there will be defining moments, especially when you're going for a 39 or 40. There will be moments where the game decides to either screw you or decides to help you, and in this instance the game decided to help me. As you saw there, he completely sliced me open with Modric. I have no idea what I was doing in defence, but for some reason his Modric fell over and put it about 5 yards wide. And what do I go and do next? First chance of the game, Pogba taps it past Neuer and allows me to ease my nerves a little. This guy was causing me a lot of trouble. I was struggling to create chances in the first half, but in the second half, and it's a different story, threaded it through to Ronaldo there and gives himself a 2-goal lead with a whipped finesse finish into the near post, and pretty much the same thing again here. Scooped by Bale, finesse shot into the near post, and once it's 3-0 I can chill out and start playing my normal game. As you can see here, just passing it round, nice and simple, driven shot across goal, 4-0, and it's pretty much game over from here. Just the last 25 minutes to see out. But with 10 minutes to go, he does manage to get a goal back here. He's going to pass it around my keeper. I read what he's going to do with Smalling. I get back on the line, but Smalling being Smalling thinks, nope, I'm going to volley it into the back of the net and give this guy the chance to dab me, even though he's 4-1 down. 90th minute, and we do have time for one more goal with Marcelo. Poor driven pass, but it bounces back to me. Good little fake with Ramos there. Back to Marcelo, gets the ricochet, falls back to him, and that team there, Marcelo, will never miss a chance like that. Final 2 games now, and I'm not going to lie. When I start a game, when I need 2 wins to qualify for an event, and I see the guy is using Fellaini, I'm thinking to myself, thank you very much. And to be fair, my thoughts are right here. It's just after a few minutes, I get down the wing with Marcelo. I'm not sure why Kyle Walker was stood in the left back position to start that move, but not complaining. Puts me 1-0 up, and we're about to make it 2-0. Ronaldo gets through, poor finish. Griezmann gets up above Ramos, I think that was. Not sure how that works. Great block on the line, back to Griezmann, and it's 2-0. And if I'm not wrong, this guy does pause it and quit, leaving us with 1 game to qualify for the regional. And it all came down to this, a game to qualify against a Leeds fan. Not only a Leeds fan, but a Leeds fan who subbed Lallana off a kick-off for informed Chiellini, who went 5-3-2. But did that work for him? Did that hell? First time I touched the ball, into Ronaldo, smashed it across goal, left foot, TC to give me an early lead and seriously calm my nerves. Even more so here, quick fake shot, to make him think that I was going to come inside. He tried to read it, he backed away from me a little bit. I carried on running in a straight line, made it 2-0, and it got even better here. You know, 3-0 after 15 minutes when they got 16 minutes after the guy's using 5 defenders is a little bit embarrassing, but he does manage to get one back here with a very good corner. That's the exact corner I go for every single time. You know, I whip it to the near post, try and get a big man there for the flick header, and more times than not when the guy wins the header you're going to get a goal. But just before half time he mistimed the tackle with Chris Smalling and Bale makes it 4-1. And obviously at that point I'm thinking I'm there, and just after half time Griezmann waits for Bale to make the run, slots him through, driven shot doesn't go in this time but bounces straight back to me, puts it in for 5-1, and I think that's all this 5 defender Leeds fan could take, and I've finished on 39 wins for the final week of March. So you remember me saying that 39 wins would 99% qualify me, but here it is, the moment of truth. Was it enough? Yes, it was. 6th in the world, 6th in Europe, 5th if you take into account that Dr. Hano had already qualified, and I've qualified for the FIWC European Regional. So as you can imagine, that did feel pretty amazing. Just knowing that I'm never going to have to stress over Weekend League in FIFA 17 ever again. Knowing that I can now go out Friday, Saturday, Sunday without a care in the world of whether I've got time to get my 40 games in. And most importantly, knowing that I'm going to have the chance to compete for a place at the FIFA Interactive World Cup Final, which is going to be the biggest prize ever given to a FIFA player of $200,000. Anyway, if you've liked this video and you've liked the previous videos that I've done, please like and subscribe. Comment down below and let me know what you've thought of my last few videos, and I'll be seeing you in my next one in a couple of days.